Welcome everyone. So, shall we wait for another 3 to 5 minutes and we will start today's CBSE Class 10 Mathematics syllabus. Thank you. So, I'm super excited and I'm really happy and I feel so honorable to be here before you all. Yes, all the 10th champions, where are you all? So, if you are here, comment, yes, we are here. Yes. So CBSE Class 10 Mathematics syllabus based on 2024 to 2025, how they have distributed the marks for total theory and for the internal assessment. So I have really deeply studied, and now in 2026, which is going to be a very, very great thing for all of you, especially for the math subject. Yes, I know everybody is feeling so scared or bit nervous, especially coming to the max subject. But don't worry. So we are here. I can say strongly that trust us, follow us, and simple tips, simple tricks makes you max easy. Okay, done. Yes. So thank you so much, all the 10th aspirants who have been waiting for the live. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much. So this is actually the new link. Actually, the old link, we faced some technical glitch. That is the reason we are sharing the new link. Thank you so much for understanding. It really means a lot for us. And those who are really waiting, so the link has been already updated. You can click on the link and please join. Yeah. So many people are messaging me as they join the old link. We are very sorry for the inconvenience. So we are updating the new link. So that's the reason we just want to wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start. I request, meanwhile, all the 10th grade students to take a book and pen ready with you so that you can also have a quick rapid revision and practice along with me over here. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Yes, let's quickly start. So here you can see it's 2024 to 2025. I have taken this year as the reference and I saw many question papers, how they're asking in the exam, the pattern of question, the distribution of marks. I studied and now I'm going to show you for the year 2026 how chapter wise marks are distributed. Okay, and there will be a total of 80 marks exam that you're going to write on 17th of this month. Already I think most of the students have scored 20 internal marks, so there's like 20. I think it's completely depends upon your school. Okay, but this 80 marks are yours now. So you need to work hard, you have to focus, you have to put your vision on this 80 marks. All right. So there are total 14 chapters. Total, we have 14 chapters in our Max 10th CBSE. So in this 14 chapters, let us first see how the marks are distributed. Then you will get an idea how to study, which chapter first you have to take into account and which chapter you have to study at last. You will get an idea. Okay, so among these 14 chapters, the first unit is real numbers. So we call them as number systems. So only real numbers has been included in 10th CBSE. This real numbers, the total marks we have are 6. So you are going to get 6 marks among 80 from this real numbers topic. Okay, so I think most of the students they feel real numbers super easy. So the reason why they feel super easy because there will be only one question which will be frequently asked in every year of 10th exam paper, that is prove root 2 or root 7 or root 5 plus root 2, etc. This type of questions irrational. This question is too common. Okay, so it's pakka, it's a for sure question for 4 marks. Okay, for 4 marks you are going to crack this question for sure. If not for 4 marks, at least you might get for 2 3 marks this question. And coming to the 1 mark questions of this real numbers, you all know. So real numbers means we have both rational and also irrational. Okay, so you need to know what is first rational. Rational numbers means which will be in the P by Q form. Okay, rational numbers means which will be in the P by Q form. Irrational numbers means just I want to tell a small trick. If it is root, if root is there, it is a rational number. Okay, so whenever you see any roots, root 7, root 5, root 1, any number which has root, we call them as irrational numbers. So most of the 1 mark questions might come from the rational numbers. So a simple question I want to tell you how they might ask you for rational number. They will ask you like this. Can you write can you write 9 as rational number? So this is a question. Can anyone comment? What would be the answer? How can we write 9 as a rational number? Can anybody comment here? Yes. Does anybody know? Yes. Yeah. Yes, the answer is right. So I got an answer. 9 divided by 1. Yes, we can write the rational number as 9 by 1. Rational means you have to remember that it will be in the P by Q form. Okay, you need to write the number in the form of P by Q. So just divide and put 1. It becomes in the P by Q. It becomes into a form of P by Q. So hence, we can write 9 as a rational number like 9 by 1. This is a very, very simple question, yet students becomes confused. What is this? How can we write? So this type of questions they might ask you for the 1 mark questions. Also, they might ask you some like can 6 power n end with 0? They will ask you. So you have to know that if a number can be written as 2 into 3. For example, if I write 6 as 2 into 3, then it will end with 0. This is a trick, okay, that you have to note it down. So I request if you have a pen and book with you, write down the small tricks. It's like a quick revision. Today we are doing rapid revision. So I just don't want to go deep dive into every chapter. I want to make it cut short each chapter in 10 to 15 minutes because we have to finish in 90 minutes for sure. Okay, so if you want the real numbers complete chapter, 1 mark questions and also 2, 3, 4, and 5 mark questions, we have a playlist which we are going to post soon. So if you go to our channel, We Are Seagulls, you have every chapter. I explain in deep all the 1 mark, 2, 3, 4, and 5 mark questions over there. Please watch and practice. Okay, done. So here is the trick. Whenever they ask you like this question, 6 power n end with 0, 2 into 3 whole power n I can write. Yes. So whenever a number is written as 2 into 3, then happily you can say yes, it can end with 0. Done. So real numbers comes for 6 marks. In this 6 marks, this question is compulsory. If you don't know, if you didn't study it, please practice and try to remember. This kind of question will be pakka. And 1 mark questions, as I told you, these are the types of 1 mark questions will be given. And watch our video and practice. And coming to the next chapter, that is polynomials. So actually we call as algebra. So algebra means we have polynomials and we have linear equations. We also have quadratic equations and also we have arithmetic progressions. Total 4 chapters together, they make algebra. So among these 4 chapters together, we are going to get 20 marks in our exam from this unit. Okay, so I just want to take each chapter separately and tell you what kind of questions they might ask you and how to remember the formula and everything. Okay, so here is a polynomials topic. It's a very, very important topic and very easy, like a basic topic. Okay, so I just want to, yeah, I just want to explain deeply on the whiteboard over here. Yes, so polynomials. So I just want to take out blue color because most of students, they use blue color for their exams, right? Yes. So in the chapter polynomials, the important questions that I am going to write quickly. Before the important questions, I just want to tell to all of you, my dear students, polynomials. When this name comes into your mind, the 2 terms alpha beta must enter into your brain. Okay, alpha beta. Generally we have equations, right? We have variables like x and y. If I put a symbol, it becomes an equation. When 2 variables have some sign in them, in between them, it becomes an equation. If the degree of the x is 1, it becomes linear. If the degree of the x is 2, it becomes quadratic. And if the degree of the x is 3, it becomes cubic. Okay? You all know this. Now, what is a polynomial and what is an equation? This is the main difference that you have to know. Generally, most of the students get confused here. Polynomial means it has only one variable, that is x. Coming to the linear equation, what is an equation? What is the difference? Equation means it has two variables, that is x and y. First, you have to know this difference. Polynomial means it will have only one variable, that is x. And coming to the equation, it will have two variables, those are x and y. Okay. Now, our chapter is polynomials. So, we have only one variable x. Okay. And here in your 10th grade, we are going to study quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial in your 10th. Okay. So what is quadratic? Having degree 2. So I'm going to take degree 2, x square plus x plus 5. This is our polynomial. It is an equation. No. It is a kind of equation having only one variable, that is x. And having degree 2 makes it quadratic polynomial. So we denote it with the term p of x. Okay, we call because polynomial p, because it has only one variable x. So I have written in the bracket x. Sometimes they might ask you like p of t. Then you have to write t square plus x plus 5, like this. So it goes like this. So this is a polynomial. So in this polynomial, so what is the main formula that you have to remember? So let me write like x square plus x plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, this is a quadratic polynomial. Let me take another polynomial, like I can take x square plus 2x plus 4 is equals to 0. Okay, all these are the polynomials. We have very important formula. Those are sum of zeros and product of zeros. Now comes the question, what are these zeros? Why these zeros have come here? Zeros are nothing but the values of x. Okay, now I want the value from this polynomial. I have to find out what is the x value. So because the degree is 2, the x values will be also 2. Let me take the x value as some a or b. These are my values of x. These values are called as zeros. So in this polynomials chapter, the zeros we denote as alpha and beta. They're nothing. They're not something scary. They're not nothing so different. Okay, they are just the values of x. The values of x, we are denoting them as alpha and beta. Okay. So now sum. What is the meaning of sum? Sum means plus. What is product? Product means multiplication. Yeah. Now I'm going to sum of zeros means alpha plus beta. The formula is minus b by a. Product of zeros means into alpha into beta is equal to c by a. So these are the two important formula which we are going to use more and more in this chapter. You have to know this. Now the question comes, ma'am, what is ABC? ABC are the coefficients of the x. A is the coefficient of x square, B is the coefficient of x, and C is the constant. So these are the coefficients. So the relation, so you might have seen this question oftenly asked in your exams. Relation between zeros. So what is the relation between zeros? Relation between zeros means this formula only. It's not some other thing. Relation between zeros and coefficients. Zeros means alpha plus beta. Coefficients means minus b by a and c by a. So sometimes some questions they ask like this. They give an equation and they will tell find the relation between zeros and coefficients. Then what you have to do, you have to first find out the values of x by your factorization. Okay, and then you will get the values of x. Those values of x becomes your alpha beta. Then you have to prove whether sum of zeros alpha plus beta is b minus b by a, and whether product of zeros alpha into beta is c by a. You have to prove it. When this LHS is equal to RHS, then it is proved. Okay, that's what this question almost I can tell that Pakka that in polynomials like 80% chances are there to ask this question for either 2 marks or either for your 3 and 4 marks. Okay, so other than this, in polynomials, sometimes they might ask you to find out the value of k. This is another very important one, finding value of k. So I think mostly the value of k they might ask you for 1 mark or MCQs. Okay. Like frequently they ask sometimes for 2 marks as well. Yes, this value of k. So relation between zeros and coefficients and value of k. These are the two main important topics that you have to cover in the chapter polynomials. Done? So anybody have any doubts in the polynomials? If you have, please comment me, ma'am. This is the particular thing that we didn't understand. Yeah, and also I have a good news for you. So we already did polynomials chapter 1 mark separately and 2, 3, 4 marks separately from the previous question papers. So that video is in our playlist. Please go and watch in your, if you have really any doubts, if you want to learn in depth. Yes. So are you all awake? It's already 9:30. Are you all awake? If yes, please comment yes. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Done. Now let us move to the next chapter in algebra. That is our linear equations, pair of linear equations. Okay, even this is a part of algebra. So this is also a very important chapter. So here in this, you can see the name itself has been telling you that it is a linear. Just now I told you what is the meaning of linear. Linear means it has degree 1. Okay, yeah, but it is an equation. Just now I told you what is an equation. It will have two variables, those are x and y. So it is a linear equation, so the degree also will be 1, like x plus y equal to 2, 2x plus y equal to 3. Okay, this is the linear equation of two variables, how they are represented. Done. So the most important topics that are to be covered in this chapter are, the first is graph, which you can score easily. Okay, very, very easy, but don't. Actually, some students told me, ma'am, how can we draw the graph? I already told in my video, but I just want to give a fast technique how to draw a graph easily. Especially when I take, for example, these are my two equations. Okay, how to draw a graph? Yeah, it's better, I think, if I, yes, go to my whiteboard and explain you how to draw a graph. Yes. Yes. So I have taken the equations x plus y equal to 3, 2x plus y equal to sum 1. These are my two equations. They will give you two equations. So how can you draw a graph? You know how to draw the graph, okay, but how to draw this table, most of the students, they get confused. This table, the values of x and y, which values I have to take. and which values I should not take. They really get confused. So I want to give a very, very, very easy trick. Okay, remember. So first write down x and y and just take two values only. Just take two values. The first value is take x as 0. Take x as 0 and then substitute in the equation and find out the y. Now, in the second case, take y as 0. Okay, take y as 0 and now find out the value x for the equation number 1. So, if I substitute x value 0, what will come? 0 plus y equal to 3. Y becomes 3. And if I take here x value, y value 0, what happens? X will be equal to 1 by 2. That is equal to 0.5. Okay, so take only two values, that is x value 0 and y value 0, and draw your table. And it's very easy to draw the graph pointing out x and y. It's very easy. But I want to tell you one thing. While you are presenting in the exam, be very careful. Write down this one as the x-axis, write as y-axis, and please write down scale. Nowadays, students are too hurried to finish the paper and they're forgetting to write the scale on x-axis and scale on y-axis. It contains almost 1 mark. Okay, so the presentation of your graph, how you are drawing the graph, whether you have written scale or not, the equal distribution of the dimensions, everything matters in your graph. Okay, so write the scale on x-axis, scale on y-axis as 1 unit equal to 1 centimeter, even on y-axis 1 unit equal to 1 centimeter, and now equally distribute it, and then you draw the graph. This is a very important part. Most of the times they will be asking for 3 or 4 marks. And another important MCQ questions they will be asking you is the tabular column, which will be in your first page and second page of your textbook. Can anybody guess what I'm going to tell you now? That is like A1 by A2, B1 by B2. I think now you got that idea. That coincident lines, parallel lines, intersecting lines. So based on this A1 by A2 and B1 by B2 only, we decide whether the lines are coincident, whether the lines are parallel, or whether the lines are intersecting. Okay, this table is very, 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 very important. For sure, MCQ questions, it will come at least for 1 mark. So when you start linear equations, go first, read out the table completely, learn this table. Okay, very easy table, just 3 conditions are there. Learn this tabular column and then go with the graph, very important. And the last is, in linear equations we have 2 methods, substitution method and elimination method. Substitution method and elimination method. You need to study these 2 methods. So what is substitution? Just you have to derive the y value from here. Y equal to 3 minus x. This y value you have to substitute in the equation number 2 and find out the x value, and then again find y. Coming to the elimination method, you have to just subtract the equation numbers 1 and 2 and eliminate the second variable and find out the first variable. This is the elimination method. So these are the 3 important topics: the tabular column, which comes for the MCQs, and second, the substitution and the elimination method, and third, the graph. If you are perfect in these 3 topics, I'm damn sure that you are going to score 100% marks in linear equations. All right. So how many of you are able to understand? Can you comment me? Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. It feels too encouraging when I see one comment. It really boosts me so much. Thank you so much for your time, especially. I really want to thank each one of you for sitting and watching over here, even having so many works. You all came over here just trusting the explanation, trusting this platform. Thank you. But I can assure you, I can tell you proudly that your time is not wasted. It doesn't go to vain. This knowledge will really help you out and to score 95 plus marks in your 10th grade CBSE final exam. Done. So we finished the linear equations to variables. So we're expecting 8 marks. Okay, 8 marks from this, like 1 mark, as I said you, from the MCQs from the table, and 2 to 3 marks might be substitution and elimination, and 4 marks might be for the graph. Done. And the next important thing is the quadratic equations. So what are quadratic equations? So already I think you all got an idea. Now what is a quadratic? Yeah, it's a degree 2. But even in here comes the difference. In polynomials, also we have taken degree 2. In quadratic also we are taking degree 2. So what is the difference between this quadratic equation and what is the difference between this polynomial? Yes. So polynomial means it has only one variable, that is x. It will be like this. Whereas the quadratic equation, it has two variables, that is x square plus 2x plus 3. Both have the same variable, but what is the difference? We equate it to 0. Here, when a polynomial p of x, when a polynomial is equated to 0, it becomes a quadratic equation. That's the main difference. Okay, both are same only. Quadratic and polynomials both are same only. But here we are not equating it to 0. But here in the quadratic equation, we are equating this to 0. Done. The only difference might be, sometimes they might ask you for 1 mark. What is the difference? A quadratic equation is always equated to 0. Done. So now let us see what are the important questions that might be asked in the exam point of view. There are only two main things that has to be noted in this quadratic equation. Let me show you. Yeah. So quadratic. The first thing is the discriminant. A for sure question for your MCQs. Whenever discriminant comes into your brain, you have to write down b square minus 4ac. Okay, b square minus 4ac is your discriminant. When it is equal to 0, you will get real and equal roots. When it is greater than 0, real and distinct roots. And when it is less than 0, we are going to get no real roots are going to come. So this is a very, very important question, very easy question, yet sometimes student out of their excitement, out of their anxiety, they get confused between this. Just simple. Equal, you will get equal roots. Less than 0 means minus, so real roots will not come. When greater than 0, you will get real only, but you will get different roots. Okay. So for example, if I take an equation x square plus 2x plus 3 equal to 0, now how can I find my discriminant? Here a value is 1. Write down a value 1, b value 2, and c value as 3. Now just substitute these values in your discriminant, that is root of b square minus 4ac equal to 0. Then you will get the values. Depending upon whether it is equal to 0, greater and less than, you have to decide and you have to find out. So many of the times how they will ask you is, they will ask you to find the k value. They will give you like this: x square plus 4 kx plus 3 equal to 0. And they will ask you what is k value, and they will give a hint they are real roots. And they also tell they're equal. Immediately you have to go do b square minus 4ac and find out the k value. This is a very, very frequently asked question on quadratic equations. And another thing is, they will give equation. They will give equation like this. Okay. And they will also give another equation, like two equations they will give you, and they will tell you to find the factors. Find the roots, most commonly used word, roots of this equation. And they will ask you to verify the relationship again. Here comes the polynomial question. Verify the relationship. This is the most important type of question. If you are aware of this question, practice this kind of questions more and more. For sure, this question is going to come in your board exams. Mark my word. Yes. So find the roots. Roots means what? Again, don't get confused, my dear students. See, roots, values, zeros, all or nothing but the values of x only. Okay, just the names are changing here. All right. So if you find out by factorization, you have to find out the values of x. Those are your roots. You will get two values of x. If for example, here my roots are -2 and -1. Now the roots are -2 and -1. Alpha will be -2, beta will be -1 if I take zeros. Okay, all these roots values zeros are nothing but the values of x only. So whenever they ask you verify the relationship, again you have to go with your alpha plus beta equal to minus b by a and alpha beta equal to c by a, and find out and verify whether they are satisfied or not. Okay, this is a very, very important question. All right. Yes. Are you able to understand? Can you comment, anyone? Am I too fast? If I'm too fast, can you comment yes? If I'm not, can you comment no? Am I too fast? Are you able to understand? Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Suhas. Yes. Yes, thank you. Done. Now, come on, what is the next important chapter? Let us see now. That is our arithmetic progressions. So it is also a very, very easy chapter, but tricky, but it scares students many times. If you know the trick, done. No problem at all. Nothing can scare you, nothing can make you fearful. Okay, so arithmetic progressions, AP, we call it as AP. So we are expecting this year that, so here the reason I have kept 13 is now we have case-based study questions also, right? So this 13 marks might be, if we are distributing as 5 marks, question might come from AP. Okay, it's like we don't know. Sometimes in this algebra, it has polynomials, it has linear equations, it has quadratic, and it has AP. Sometimes they might reduce the weightage of linear equations and they might increase the weightage of AP. In such cases, please note this point, I'm not telling they will ask pakka 13 marks. If they reduce this weightage of polynomials and linear equations, they might increase the weightage of other chapter. Okay, so if at all they give priority to AP, then you might get minimum 13 marks. Okay, if not, for sure you will get a 5 marks question or a 4 mark question from this chapter. So AP. So what is AP? Arithmetic progression. So whenever you see this chapter, immediately your mind has to go with the general form of AP. Okay, yes, let me explain you the very important chapter topics of this chapter AP. Yes, arithmetic progressions. So what is a general form of AP? What is this AP, first of all? There will be a relation between the first term and the second term, and there will be a relation between the second term and the third term. So, if there is a relation between the terms of, for example, if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm taking a series of numbers. If you see, there is a relation between 1 and 2 because 2 minus 1 is 1 only. If I take 2 and 3, 3 minus 2 is also equal to 1. If I take 3 and 4, 4 minus 3 is equals to 1. Okay, there is something relation. The difference between each numbers is same. There is a common difference between the second term and the first term is same. The common difference between the third term and the second term is same. The common difference between the fourth term and the third term is same. Yeah. So if the common difference D is same, then we tell that this series is an AP, that is arithmetic progression. Okay, sometimes they will not give you in the question AP. You can't see the word AP in the question. In such time, how can you know? How can you understand? You have to know that the common difference between those two numbers must be same. Then only you can decide it is coming from the arithmetic progression chapter. Yes. Okay. So let me tell you what is the general form of this. So if I take the first term A, the second term, if I add 1 plus 1, here what is the common difference? Here the common difference is 1, right? If I add to the first term 1, I'm getting my second term. If I add common difference 1 again, I'm getting the third term, that is 3. So just keep adding the common difference. A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. This is our arithmetic progression general form. Sometimes they will give you just for 1 mark, 2 marks question. Write the general form of AP. Sometimes students gets too much hanged out, too much busy in solving the case-based study questions, 4 mark questions, and they lose marks in this simple and very easy questions and silly questions. Okay, so don't just by heart, understand the concept, learn the chapter, love the chapter, then you can crack 100%. Done. Yes. So this is general form. And another next important formula I want to tell you quickly. The formula of AP, the first one is the nth term. Nth term of AP is AN is equals to A plus N minus 1 into D. Okay. And then second one is the sum of n terms. Sum of n terms formula Sn is equals to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. These are the two formula that mostly we use, and sometimes sum of last terms also we will be getting in the questions. Yeah. Sum of n last terms, that is SL, is equals to, yes, n by 2 into a plus L. This is the formula, and sum of n natural numbers questions. This In my video where I have done a complete chapter of AP, I included 1 mark questions and all the types of questions. There also I said, so they might ask you for 2 mark questions, this type of sum of n natural numbers. The formula is n into n plus 1 by 2. So these are the important formula you have to remember if you come to the AP arithmetic progressions chapter. Okay, so the questions that they may ask, nth term, pakka. Okay, they might combine the nth and the sum of n terms. Sometimes they don't give you n, they give you some clue. Okay, and you have to find out the n, and then they ask you to find the sum of n terms. Sometimes they give you sum of n terms and they don't give you the an. You have to find out an. So if you want every problem to be explained, every type of question to be explained, please go to our playlist and watch the arithmetic progressions video. And I have explained every type of question in exam point of view. Only putting all of you in my mind, I have done this job. So if one student feels it useful, if one student really feels it like maths is really easy, if I watch your video, ma'am, it is a great achievement for me personally. Yes. So these are the important formula and the type of questions might be asked in AP. Done. So these days we are expecting like case-based study questions from AP. So how may they ask the case-based study questions? See, I want to tell you one thing to all of you. This case-based study, like the last section, don't get confused. Case-based study means the last section. Okay, the last section, which is for 5 marks. In that section, they are including sometimes AP questions as well. You know, one question was like this. They asked like, there are 2 rows, 4 rows, and 6 rows. And in each row, 10 children were there sitting. Okay, and they asked you to find out the sum of the rows, and they also asked you to find the nth term. Simple. Here in the place of rows, you have to write terms. That is, just they will change the words. That's it. Okay. Every time they don't ask you term, first term, second term, they don't ask you like this. They will just change the words. 2 rows. Sometimes they will tell you 2 classes. Sometimes they will tell you like there are 4 chocolates, 10 chocolates. Okay, and again 16 chocolates were there distributed to some classmates. Now tell me what are the sum of chocolates to be distributed overall. So they just change the pattern of asking the question. That's it. Okay, and the formula, the attempting of the problem, like the complete presentation will be same only. So don't worry by looking at the length of the question. Never ever get fear come into your mind. Read the question, understand the question. Okay, what exactly they want, grab it, and what exact formula you have to use, put it on the paper and keep solving it. Done. Yes, this is all about the AP. And coming to the after AP, what is our next thing? Now I think we finished the algebra. The algebra part we finished. Yes. Yes, coordinate geometry, very, very easy. Yeah, very, very easy. How many of you are there who love coordinate geometry here? Can you type S? I like. I really like coordinate geometry. Very easy. Just a formula, substituting in a formula. So no special tricks have to be followed over here. Okay. So coordinate geometry is like just very easy. Let me quickly. Yeah. So how many of you know? Yeah, some students were messaging me. Yeah, let me share the link. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you. Yes. Done. So in coordinate geometry, there are only how many? Like 2 to 3 formula. That's it. If you know these 3 formula enough, you can crack out of marks. But some students, even they get less marks in this coordinate geometry. You know, the reason why, the reason that they get less marks is because of the calculation part. You know, they simple silly mistakes. Instead of writing plus, they will write minus. Instead of multiplying, they will do divide. Because of this only, they will be losing the marks in the coordinate geometry. So coordinate geometry, before learning the formula, first you have to be thoroughly practiced of solving the problem. Okay, done. So is there anybody now, after looking at this chapter, able to remember the formulae? Yes. So only one and only super duper formula of this chapter is the distance formula. Yes, it is distance formula. What is the distance formula here? Root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is the distance formula. So they will give you the coordinates. So what is coordinate geometry? Let me just explain you in a very clear way. If I take a line, okay, if I take a line segment, I'm taking line segment, it will be ended with the 2 points on the edges. Okay, this connects 2 points. The first point has two numbers and second point has two numbers. If I take 2 comma 3 as my coordinates of the first point x, if I take 4 comma 5 as the coordinates at the point y, okay, I will take this as x1 y1 and this as the x2 y2. And now I have to substitute this values of x1 y1 in the distance formula, and you will get the distance formula and you will get the answer. Okay, this is the way how we are going to find out the distance between x and y. This is a very important formula, the first one. And the second one is the section formula. The second one is the section formula. Section formula is somewhere the point P will be here. Okay, somewhere the point will be here. Now they will ask you to find the coordinates of this point. Okay, they will tell you that this line segment is divided into the ratio m1 and m2, and they will ask you to find the point which is dividing this line. We don't know, and sometimes they will give you m1 as 1 and m2 as 2, and you have to find out. For this, the section formula is, I think it's better if I write on the whiteboard. Yeah, if you have pen and paper, note it down all the formula. It will be like a quick revision for you of all the chapters. Yeah. So we are doing the coordinate geometry now. Coordinate geometry. Yes. Now, just now we studied the distance formula. Now we are studying section formula. The section formula is mx2 plus nx1 by m1 plus m2, comma my2 plus ny1 by m1 plus m2. So this is the section formula where an m1 and m2 are. So I have taken this as my line, okay, of this is x1 y1 and this is x2 y2. I am taking this as m and this is n. I am not taking m1 m2, I am taking m and n. So I have written this formula, and this is the point x comma y to be found out. This is section formula. So either you can get section formula or either you can get distance formula. Most of the times MCQs will be from the distance formula. Section formula you can get for 3 or 4 marks. So sometimes how they give you? They give you the point. They give you the point and they will ask you to find out the x value. So now what you have to do, for example, this is equal to 2 comma 3. Now what I will do, I will equate the x value to 2. I'll equate the y value to y. And then I will get the values of m and n. Okay, so it's very rare that they will ask you direct question of section formula. So they just miss some numbers and they will ask you to find out by using section formula. Either they will ask you to find mn, or sometimes they will give you mn and ask you to find point x comma y. Okay, done. Yes. This is all about the coordinate geometry, and another important thing I have to tell you is the midpoint formula. Yes. How can I forget this? Very, very, very easy and very important formula. The midpoint formula. How many of you like midpoint formula here? It's very easy, right? If yes, can you comment S? So x1 plus x2 by 2, y1 plus y2 by 2. This is the midpoint formula. So if they are telling that a line segment is exactly divided into two halves. For example, if I take AB and they told that this AC is equidistant. If you see this word equidistant, then it's nothing but both sides are equal. Okay, when you see this word equidistant, it means that AC is equals to BC and C is exactly dividing the A and B at C. Okay, then you can use the midpoint formula x1 plus x2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2 by 2. Okay, this is a very, very easy, and you can use any time in any question, whether it is a case-based study or any 2 mark or 3 mark question. If they ask you that it is equidistant or equal, then happily go use your midpoint formula. Okay, these are the important 3 formulas that are very, very important in the coordinate geometry. Another important thing I want to include is the points of trisection. Points of trisection. Yeah. So if I take a line segment A, B, there are another 2 points P and Q. Okay, done. So what are these points of trisection? So I'm writing here. If you have book, please note down the points which divide line segment into 3 equal parts. Into 3 equal parts, or in the ratio 1:2 and 2:1. Either they can make it as this complete part as 2 and this part as 1, or sometimes they will make this as 1 and this complete part as 2. 2:1 or 1:2. This is called as a points of trisection. Sometimes the question they don't give you M and N, and they will tell that line is being divided in the points of trisection. If you see this name, happily go divide it into 2:1 or 1:2 and solve it. You take your M as 2 and N as 1 and solve it, or you can take M as 1 and N as 2 and solve it. You can do 2 cases here. Okay, you have to solve 2 cases here. Done. So these are the 4 important points: distance formula, section formula, and midpoint, and the points of trisection. These are the most frequently asked questions from this chapter. I think other than this, they can't even ask anything. There is nothing, only these 4 are there in this chapter. Yes. Now let us see what next. So yeah, this coordinate geometry. So we are expecting now it's like 6 marks. Yeah, 1 mark MCQ, like 3 marks question one and 2 marks question one. Done. Yep. And next comes the geometry part. How many of you like geometry here? How many of you like geometry? When I was studying my 10th, I used to study geometry at last. If you are the one joining me, can you comment yes? Yeah, so by seeing the figures, all the triangles, circles, you know, generally we feel so embarrassed, oh my God, what are all these, what's happening in these figures, right? Yeah, but after I read the chapter, after I have gone through the triangles chapter, the properties and the important keys of the geometry, then I came to know that geometry is the most easy chapter. Yes, so nothing, just you have to know the properties, that's it. Other than that, nothing will be there here. Okay, done. So how many of you know BPT here? BPT, basic proportionality theorem. Yeah. So now let us see triangles. In class 10 CBSE that we are going to write on 17th, okay, we have the first foremost thing, that is BPT theorem. They might ask you define BPT, or they might ask you to prove. Okay, this is a direct question, and sometimes you also get problems on this theorem. What is this theorem? I just want to make it very simple because of lack of time. Okay, so this is a triangle ABC. If a line is drawn parallel to the opposite side BC, if PQ is drawn parallel, it means that AP by PB will be equal to AQ by QC. When a line is drawn parallel to the opposite side, then the other two sides will be in proportion. This is a definition. And you have to prove it. You have that in already in your textbook. And most of the students, where they are getting confused is they only know that the other two sides are in proportion, means they only follow AP by PB equal to AQ by QC. No, here you're doing mistake and getting worried, okay? There are three cases. First case is AP by PB equal to AQ by QC. The second case is the bigger side AB by the smaller side, the top one. AP might be also equal to AC by AQ. And the third case is again the bigger side AB by PB is equal to AC by QC. So you can use any of the three rules and solve your problems. Okay, if you know this, if you see in your question that a line is parallel, for example, they will tell you DE is parallel to BC. Immediately, parallel, if you see this word, go directly take your BPT, write down these three conditions, see which condition you can do there and solve it. Okay, it's a direct proper question, most frequently asked PPT. And the second one is all about the similarity of triangles. Similarity of triangles. So what is similar? The name itself says that looking same, right? Looking same. For example, this is my triangle, this is my triangle. Both are looking same, but they have different size. Okay, if they are the size, see this triangle I'm taking, this triangle I'm taking. Both sides are same and also they are looking same. This is called congruency. When they have same size and same shape, we call the triangles are congruent to each other. Don't get confused with the similarity and congruency. Okay, congruency means let me talk with the mathematical language. Okay, if I take this as my ABC and this is my PQR. Okay, so angle A is equal to angle B is equals to angle C, then we call it as congruency. Also, it must be equal to AB by PQ proportions. This side must be by this side must be equal to BC by QR is equals to AC by PR. If this both satisfies, then we call it as congruent nature. Okay, but similar triangles, we have almost three conditions. Let me tell you quickly what are those three conditions. Yeah. The first one is S, yes, yes. If I take a triangle ABC and if I take a triangle big one that is PQR, then if AB side, okay, if AB and PQ and BC and QR and AC and PR are same, then we can tell it is similar. Both triangles are similar. Don't bother about the angles. Okay, and the second criteria is angle criteria, which we use more. Okay, mostly we are using this angle criteria. So any two angles must be equal. Then also we can tell that both the triangles are similar. And the third one is side criterion. So for example, if I take this and if I take this A and this is PQR. So angle A must be equal to angle P, sorry. So the sides which are including the angle A, which are the sides? AB is here by PQ must be equal to AC by PR. Did you understand now? So this angle A has AB as the side, also AC as the side. This angle P has PQ as the side, also PR as the side. Okay, so AB by PQ is equal to AC by PR. So then only we can say that both the triangles are similar. And the last one is the angle criterion. All three angles must be equal, then we can say that the two triangles are similar. So there are four similarity properties that you have to know, and BPT theorem, and another important one is the converse of BPT. Converse of BPT. What is a converse? The meaning is reverse. Okay. So actually what is BPT theorem? So if a line is drawn parallel, some D is parallel to BC, DE is parallel to BC. Okay. Then the other sides are in proportion. Now what I am doing, I am writing the last step first. If the opposite sides of a triangle are in proportion, then the line drawn intersecting these two sides, okay, intersecting these two sides is parallel. Just we are writing the last step first step last. Okay, based on this also we have problems. Okay, I have done all the problems in our playlist. So if you you can watch the triangles video where I have explained, we have solved so many problems over there and done. So these are the very important points on triangles. So beyond this, you will not get any question. Okay, these are the only concepts that we have in triangles. Okay, if you know the similarity criterion and if you know the BPT and the converse of BPT and the rules, enough, you can solve happily. And also about that, you have to know the Pythagoras, the basic one. For a right angle triangle, it will be 90 degrees, and you have to know that hypotenuse square is always equal to base square plus, this is my hypotenuse, this is my base, and this is my height square. Okay, this one also you have to know, most commonly we will be using. And also you have to know that sum of Three angles of a triangle is what? 180 degrees. You have to know this. And also I want to tell you one thing. If I draw two lines parallel, if I draw a transverse, okay, so now the alternate interior angles. This is my interior angle. This is my interior angle. Alternate interior angles will be always equal. This is the first condition. Okay. The second one is, yeah, let me draw this. Yeah. So the exterior angles, see, corresponding exterior angles, this one leave this one, leave this one, and this angle leave this part, this angle. Now this angle leave this part, this angle, this angle leave this part, this angle. So these angles, corresponding angles, are also always equal when a transverse is drawn to a parallel lines L and M. Okay, and another important thing that I'm going to tell you now is, yeah, co-interior angles. Okay, this angle and this angle, this angle and this angle, we call them as co-interior angles. This co-interior angles, when you add, for example, this is A and this is B, when you add this A and B, you will get 180 degrees. Okay, you have to know these points. If you know all these points about the triangles, the rules and properties, then you can easily apply whatever problem they give you. Okay, done. Yes. Now comes to the another part of the geometry. Those are circles. Yeah. Now tell me, how many of you like circles? Comment me yes. Oh, okay. There are people who really like circles as well. Yeah, yeah, yes. Same thing I just want to tell you all. Circles is also easy. Just you have to know the, the tricks, that logic behind it. Let me take a circle. So this is my circle. Yes. Yeah. Here in our class 10 CBSE, so what are there and what type of questions they might ask you regarding circles? Okay. Done. How many of you know tangent? What is a tangent? What is a secant? You all have to know. Okay, if you don't know the basic terms, by hearting is not the right way. You need to know the terms, terminology. You have to understand it. If you know, if you really understand, maths will be really beautiful. Okay, love it and do it. Done. So this is a circle. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take one point over here and I'm going to join to any one point of the circle. Sorry, my lines are too bad. They're not straight. I'll try to draw straight, okay? Yes. Okay. This is my external point P. So what is a circle? Circle is a collection of points, yeah? Circle is a collection of points. So many points together when we just attach, we get a circle. So many points will be there. So if a line, I'm telling again, if a line passes through only one point, if a line passes through only one point, then we call it as tangent. Okay, done. And if a line, okay, passes through or intersects through two different points in a circle, okay, C and D, then two different points, I'm writing two distinct points, we call them as secant. Here we are not studying about secant, we're completely going with the tangent only. Okay, and if a line segment of any 2 points on a circle, for example, I have taken this point and this point, inside the circle I'm joining, I'm not extending it, I'm just joining inside the circle. Let me draw here. I'm taking I'm taking any 2 points and I'm just joining these 2 points. This is called as a chord. Okay, this is called as a chord, and this is a secant, and this is a tangent. So in our 10 CBSE we have only on tangent and also chord. Done. So the first one is the first theorem, very very important theorem, that is the length of the tangents are equal when drawn from an external point. This is the very important theorem. Length of the tangents are always equal when drawn from an external point. Done. This is the first important theorem, and based on the theorem also we have so many problems. So read the theorem and also try to solve the problems, and some basic questions they might ask you in this circles theorem. What they will ask, let me just give you a clear idea. Yes, so they just give you one circle and they will just draw some. Okay, for example, they'll take a point C, point O as a center, and let me draw one triangle here, some triangle here, ABC. Okay, now they will ask you find the length of, okay, BC. This is simple questions. If you see, this is the radius. The things that you have to know are that diameter. What is the diameter? Diameter is exactly passing through the center. This is my diameter. Okay, done. Chord is different. Chord is joining any 2 points, but diameter passes through the center. Okay, and radius, you know, and you also have to know that another important point, radius will be always perpendicular to the tangent. This is a very very important point you have to know. Here it is a radius, here it is a tangent, so the angle will be 90 degrees because radius is perpendicular to the tangent. Now it is 90 and they have given this is 12. Sometimes they don't give you the hypotenuse, then you have to solve by using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and they gave it as 5, and now by Pythagoras theorem you have to do 12 square plus 5 square. Okay, then yes, what is 12 square? 144 plus 25 and 169 we got as 13. Okay, done. We got directly the PC value 13. If you don't know this point that radius is perpendicular to the tangent, you feel really hard. So just these are the two important points that you have to know here, and also the terms. What is a tangent? What is a secant? And all this terminology might come for the MCQs, and this is all about the circles. Done. And let us go to the next chapter. My favorite chapter, that is trigonometry. Yes, how many of you really like trigonometry over here? How many of you like trigonometry? Comment yes. How many of you really feeling trigonometry easy? Nobody likes? Comment right? If you comment, I'll get energy because it's already late night. So if you comment me, I'll really get energy. Yeah. Yes, yes. Oh my god, no one. But today you are going to like this trigonometry, so has for sure. So if you have a pen and paper, Suhas, you can put the pen and paper with you along with you. Okay, I'm going to make it super easy for you trigonometry. Okay, So trigonometry is all derived from the tri. You know what is meaning by tri? Number 3. Okay. The gno means sides and metri means meter. It shows you the distance. Okay. We are going to solve 3 sides. You all know 3 sides. Polygon is a triangle. And in trigonometry, we are going to study only on right angle triangle. We are going to learn only on the right angle triangle. Okay. ABC. Done. Yes. So 90 degrees. So in trigonometry, first of all, you have to learn the ratios. That is sine is equal to opposite by hypotenuse. If I take angle A, sine A is nothing but opposite by hypotenuse. And cos A is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. Tan is nothing but sine by cos. Okay, sine, cos, tan, and cosecant is nothing but the inverse of sine, and secant is nothing but the inverse of cos. And last one, cot is the inverse of tan. Just if you know sine and cos enough. Tan is sine by cos, cosecant is 1 by sine, sec is a reciprocal of cos, cot is a reciprocal of tan. These are the important ratios you have to know, and you will get problems for the MCQs. So they will be giving like this. For example, yeah, they will give you like this. For example, it is 2. So they will give you 5, 2, 3. And they will ask you what is tan A. Tan A means what? Opposite by adjacent. They will ask you what is sine. You have to write 3 by 5. Sometimes they don't give you this number. You have to do your by your Pythagoras theorem and find out the value. And then you have to find out the ratio by using formulas. Okay. Yes. And another important formula, the tabular column is, you all know the table column. So just it is the angle. First one is ratios that we finish it now. The second one is the angles. Angles table. That is like this. 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees and 90 degrees. Okay. And first you write down your ratios. Sine, cos, tan. Go in an order. Sine by cos is tan. Okay. 1 by sine is cosec. 1 by cos is secant. And 1 by tan is cot. And how to remember this trick I want to tell you now. That is just you remember the sine values. Sine 0 is 0. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. 1 by root 2. Root 3 by 2. And this is infinite 1. Okay, so just cos is the inverse. If you just remember sine, just write the values reverse of cos. Like 1 root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by 2 and 0. Okay, tan is nothing but sine by cos. Just divide 0 by 1 and write down. Just divide, divide, divide and write down. And what is cosecant? 1 by sine. What is secant? 1 by cos. Cot is 1 by tan. If you just know the sine values enough, you can just write the cos as the reverse value. This table is very, very important. In your exam, what you have to do, when you see this angles value, immediately in your the side of your answer paper, just immediately draw the table and write down the values to avoid confusion. Okay, so this is the second important table that you have to remember. The problems are going to come from this table. And third one you have to know is the identities. Identities. Okay, identities are what? Sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Okay, and then cosecant square theta minus cot square theta is equals to 1. And third one is secant square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1. These are the 3 identities we are going to use. So the question from you is when I have to use identities, when I have to use these ratios, and when I have to use these angles. So I want to tell you one thing. Whenever you see values in your question, if AB is equal to 3, BC equal to 5, and find something. If you see the values in your question, just go directly with your ratios. That is opposite by hypotenuse, that one. If you see angle values 30 cos 30 tan 45 like this, go with the angles. And coming to the identities, most of the times they will ask you proof questions. Prove root of 1 minus tan theta by divided by 1 plus tan theta is equals to 1. In this type of proofs, most probably we will be using these identities. Another important thing, you also have to know these formulas. A square minus b square equal to a plus b into a minus b. Okay, this is the formula mostly we will be using, and also we will be using a plus b whole square formula, also a minus b whole square formula. Okay, so we will be relating these two identities and these formulas combinedly we will be using in solving the proof questions. Done. So if you have really trouble on trigonometry, please go to our playlist and watch the introduction of trigonometry questions where I solved very decent number of questions explaining you every concept. Done. And coming to the next part, let us see. That is the applications to trigonometry. Done. So it is also a very easy chapter. Okay. So might be the figures, the length of the question may scare you, but that will be nothing. I want to just tell you one short stick and move on. So coming to the applications of trigonometry, it is all about heights and distances. It is all about heights and distances. Okay. So they will be giving you the question in such a way, they give you two cases. Please listen carefully. They will give you two cases. Okay. First, they will tell there is a tower. Okay. And a boy was standing from here somewhere. This is a boy, and this boy is standing on the ground, and this tower is there also on the ground, and this boy is watching with an angle of elevation 30 degrees. So to get angle, I'm writing another, I'm drawing another line. Yes, 30 degrees. Again, they told the angle made by his foot to the top of the tower is 60 degrees. So if you see, anywhere in any question, you can see two cases. They will give you two angles. Okay, they'll give you two angles. So what you have to do, just draw one line. First go with, mostly we use common trigonometric ratios are tan, most, not that much more. We can use sine, sometimes cos and cot. Most probably we go with the tan only. Okay, so just go with the tan. See the question. If they want the height of the tower, what is tan? Opposite by adjacent. They might give you the distance of the ground, like 40 meters, and you don't know the height of the tower. So how can you find the height of the tower? By your trigonometry. So now I want to ask you all the question that why we have to learn trigonometry. Do you know? So how can you find the height of the tower? You can't take your scale and tape and you can't measure, right? So for example, if I want the width of the dam, I am somewhere and I want to know the width of the dam. I can't take my measurement scale and I can't measure the dam. So in such cases, we use this trigonometric angles to find out the larger distances, bigger distances. Okay, so yes, coming to the exam point of view, you have to draw a line and differentiate in two types. Like here, go with tan 30, here go with tan 60. Directly do. Parallelly you do. So while doing the first part, you will get one condition. Just take this first condition, go put it in the second condition, and you will get your answer. I'm going to tell you this is Pakka. Okay, if you have really doubt, I have solved many number of questions in applications of trigonometric video in our channel. Please go through that. So this is very easy one. So they will give you, for example, if I take, yeah, it may take another one. So there is a ground, okay, and there were two boys standing Okay, they have given only the one boy's height, that is 4 meter, four like some 4 meters, and the another boy I don't know, and they both are watching the sun. Somewhere sun is there. Okay, they both are watching the sun like this. Here he is watching with an angle of 30. Here he is watching with an angle of 60. They gave the distance between the boys is some 6 meters. Now same case. Go draw two lines. Go with the tan 30. Go with the tan 60. Parallelly you do. Okay, and then you will get the answer. First, sometimes they will ask you what is the height of this boy AB, like PQ. I'm taking this. What is this height of this AB? Okay, yes, you can do directly as well here. So you can just go with a tan 30, tan 60 and find out this distance. Yeah, and also you can find out the height of the AP. So whatever question they give you, okay, just go draw two lines. They will give you two cases for sure in the trigonometry. Go with the two angles side by side, solve them and do it. So I request everybody, so if you're really feeling difficult on trigonometry and applications of trigonometry, watch our video which is in playlist. You'll become really easy. And if you want many other number of questions or any doubts, please comment us so that we can explain you and very easy way. Done. So coming to the last part of our today's class, it is the mensuration. There are just two chapters left. That is the areas related to circles. Yeah, this areas related to circles and this surface areas and volumes, that together they make the unit mensuration. Okay, so area related to circles we are going to get 5 marks, and surface area also mostly 5 marks or 4 marks. Okay, these two chapters are mainly based on the formula, both area related to circles and also surface areas and volumes. Area related to circles, just go with the area of, for example, if I take a circle, okay, this is my center point. All right. If I join two radiuses like this part, okay, is called as sector. This is a minor sector and this is the major sector. Okay, and if I draw a line joining these 2 points, if I draw a chord, this chord and this side is there, the shaded region is there. This is called as a segment. Yeah, this is called a segment and this is called as a sector. Done. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah. So let you have only limited formula here. Yeah. Area of sector and area of the minor sector you have. If you want the area of the major sector also, you have. And also you have to know the area of circle. What is the area of circle? It is pi r square. So let me write that first. You have to know area of circle, that is pi r square, and area of sector, that is equals to theta by 360 into pi r square. Area of sector means it is always coming to the minor only. Okay, and coming to the area of major sector. Okay, area of the major sector will be, go directly to this formula by 360 into pi r square. Generally what we will do, this is a major sector, so we do area of the circle minus area of the minor sector we will do. That's a too long, so this is a short, use this formula, because after solving that we will get this formula only. Okay, this is the area of minor sector, this is the area of the major sector. And coming to the another important formula, that is the length of the arc. Length of the arc. This is called the length of the arc. If I just make the color better, I think. Yeah, this is the length of the arc. So the length of the arc is theta by 360 into 2 pi r, the circumference. Okay, and you also have to know what is the circumference of a circle. Circumference of a circle is also equal to 2 pi r. Yeah. So just if you multiply with theta by 360, you will get the 2 pi r. Here the theta will be there. Okay, these are the important formula. Most of the questions are the word problems, and directly you are going to put this formula and calculate. Here in area related to circles, you have to focus on calculations. Focus on calculations. Okay, just in the question, if they tell you to do pi equal to 3.14, don't write 22 by 7. Okay, if they don't mention, then just go with 22 by 7. But if they mention you 3.14, don't write 22 by 7. Okay, this is very, very important mistake that most of the students often does. Okay, so focus on your calculation part. Do approximately. You might not get correctly, no, you can't get, but so approximately you can get the answers. Okay, done. So these are the important formula, and focus on the word problems. Also, we have done a video on area related to circles, so please go through the video to solve more number of questions. Done. Coming to the surface areas and volume, so even this is all about the formula. Okay, you have to know the formula. I'm telling you all, dear students, this area related to circles and surface volumes, many students they quit. I don't know why they quit. Okay, they quit. No, don't do that. See, just at least write down the formula. Write formula. Try to substitute. Okay, try to substitute and do approximate answer. Okay, so this surface area is all about the formula. Okay, so it's all about the cuboid, cube. Okay, and also, yeah, let me quickly do the revision. Yeah, because of the lack of the time. Yeah, so we have here we have cube, we have cuboid. Okay, we have cylinder, we have cone, and we have sphere, and also we have hemisphere. Okay, these are the 3D shape pictures we have in the surface areas. Okay, and also we have the curved surface area formula, which we also call as a lateral surface area. We have total surface area formula. We have the volume formula. So you have to remember all the formula which are written in your textbook. So note down all the formula, remember it easily. Okay. So among all this, cube is very easy. So most of the times they will just combine the cube and cuboid. Sometimes they combine the cylinder and cone. Sometimes they combine cone and sphere. Okay. And sometimes what they tell you, the important point is the melting point. Sometimes they tell you 3 cubes are melted and are made as a cuboid. So then this volume of 3 cubes will be equal to the volume of this cuboid. Yes. And sometimes they will tell 3 cuboids are melted and made one solid cylinder. Then this 3 cuboids will be equal to the volume of the cylinder. So you have to know the logic. Read the question, understand the logic, visualize it. How they are asked, visualize it, and just note down the formula and substitute the formula and score 100% marks in surface areas. Okay, done. And the last one is the statistics, the statistic and the probability. So most of the students really, I'm telling you, most of the students, you really love this chapter because the easy scoring chapter. So easy scoring chapter, statistics. Let me go with statistics. Is all about mean, mode, and median. Okay, these are three important things that you have to study about the statistics. Mean is all about, we have two things I want to tell you. Okay, grouped data and ungrouped data. Okay, what is grouped? It's like friends. It's like the group will be like this: 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So they will give the class intervals like this. This is called grouped. Ungrouped means they just give you 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Mean is all about the number of observations, sum of number of observations by total number of observations. Okay, done. So you have the ungrouped. Ungroup is very easy. You can do directly. If I told I have taken 2, 3, 4, 5, you have to just add all these numbers and divide by 4. This is mean. Coming to the mode, if I take 2, 5, 5, 6, 5, the maximum number used is 5. This is the mode. Coming to the mean, it is a middle term. If I take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, cancel the first, second. What is the middle one? That is called the median. Okay. So this is all about the group data. This type of questions might be asked for your MCQs. The group data questions and ungrouped data questions, pakka you are going to get for 4 marks or 3 marks. So there are the formulae for the grouped data. So mean formula, mode formula, and median formula. So let me quickly write it. So they will give the class intervals and you have to find the method. So it's your wish. There are 3 methods in the mean: direct, assumed mean, and step deviation method. Step deviation method. So which method you have to choose? If I'm writing here, if the numbers are big, go either with assumed mean or step deviation. If the numbers are small, then only go for the direct method. Okay, because in assumed mean we have simplified formulas, so it will be easy for you to calculate in the table or column. Okay, and present the table properly, write down neatly. No need to do the calculation separately side. You can draw the table column big and do the calculation there only neatly. Okay, so I repeat it. If the numbers are big, go with the assumed and step deviation method. Otherwise, go with the direct method. Done. And more, it is a direct question, and median also direct questions. And sometimes they will be asking you more, less, more, less than questions. Yeah, mostly they will be asking you for 4 marks. The less than type and also the more than questions. If they ask you the less than questions, for example, if they tell you like less than 20, then always this will be your upper limit in less than questions. In more than questions, this will become your lower limit. Okay, the 20 will become upper limit when they give you less than questions. In more than questions, take the 20 as a lower limit and start. This is the only trick I want to give you in statistics. Very easy. So get thoroughly prepared with the formula and practice the questions. Even we have done the statistic video. A couple of decent questions are there. Practice and watch them. Done. And coming to the probability. Yeah, probability. Done. So probability is all about, anyone is there? So what is the probability? What is the formula? You first have to know the total number of outcomes. Okay, total number of outcomes. First write down and then look at your question. For example, if they have till, the first one is the dice, right? Dice. And the second one, they might ask you, is the coin. And the third one is all about the cards. Dice, coin, cards. Okay. And sometimes they will tell you, so there are some balls, black ball, blue ball, red ball. Randomly we have picked that questions, random problems. random problems. And sometimes they will give you some letters, like they will give you mathematics. They'll give you mathematics, and they will ask you, what is the probability of getting M? First of all, you have to write the total number of outcomes. How many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So write the total number of outcomes, and now write the question what they have asked you in particular. So 1, 2, mathematics have only two M's, so 2 by 11 is the answer. So like that. So even in a dice or coin or cards or any random problems, always first write on the total number of outcomes and then go with the numerator. Okay, so dice is all about how many are there in dice, numbers 1 to 6. Okay, so the total number of outcomes in dice you have to write like this. First 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1, 4 comma 1, 5 comma 1, and 6 comma 1. Same thing you have to repeat here. Again 1 comma 2. Okay, just it goes on. So total we will get 36 number of outcomes in dice. Okay, and coming to the coin, if it is only one coin, we have only two outcomes, that is head or tail. Okay, sometimes they will ask you 2 coins, 3 coins, or 4 coins. In such cases, you have to be so careful. Based on the number of coins only, you have to solve the probability. And coming to the cards, there are total 52 cards. Yeah, in this 52 cards, there will be 4 A's. Yeah, king, queen, and jack. Yeah, let me write neatly. So how many of you play cards here? Yeah, even when I was small, I used to play cards actually, but now we stopped it. Yes, yeah, I want to just give a clear cut picture on the cards and then we can end up the class. Yep. So there are total number of 52 cards over here. Okay, in this 52 cards, we have 13 spades, 13 clubs, 13 hearts, and 13 diamonds. The spade shape will be like a leaf, and the club will be like a small flower, and heart you all know, and diamond also you know, the rhombus shape. Okay, done. In this 13 spades, okay, this 13 cards, you know. Yeah, so we have 13 spades and this one will be in black color. So black color, there are total 13 plus 13, 26. Again, these are red color. So we have again 26 over here. Okay, done. And in all these, the common is A's. So we have two A's here. Here one is, here one is, and here also one is, and here also one is. And also we have Jack, Queen, King here. Here also Jack, Queen, King. Here also Jack, Queen, King, and here also Jack, Queen, King. Okay, so whatever, if at all they ask you to find the probability of A's, red A's, then red A's are how many? 2. 2 by 52. If they ask you probability of getting red hearts, you have to go hearts. How many red hearts? 13 by 52. If they ask only red cards, then you have to go 26 cards. Red are there by 52. So this is all about the cards. So yes, this is all about the probability. Done. So this is our 90 minutes rapid revision of all the 14 chapters. So tomorrow we are going to do live on only MCQ questions. So if you are really suffering or struggling with MCQs, so just in 30 to 35 minutes, how can you attempt all the MCQs without losing even one mark? I'm going to tell you tomorrow. So thank you everyone for joining, and thank you so much for being awake and listening. Hope this video is really helpful to you. And if comment, please do S in the comment. And thank you so much. Yes. How many of you like this video? Can you please comment? Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you for waiting this much time and listening patiently. Yeah. And all the 10 students, yes, tomorrow we are going live again with all MCQs. So let's meet again tomorrow and solve all the MCQs and get perfect and score out of 20 out of 20 in the MCQs. Thank you.